So, we've done our 4 loops in the front, and we can tie off. And now we're just about done. The next step is snipping the loops. And when we snip the loops, you don't want to really snip at the apex of the loop. Try to snip them just off to the side. That's going to add to the taper of the fly. If you don't get that, snip just slightly off center, perfect, don't worry about it. It's not going to be a huge problem. We'll be able to trim that back later once the fly is all combed out. So I'm going to come in and start snipping my loops. And just kind of a little bit off center, a little bit off center, and just work your way around. And it's just kind of fun. This fly has been really popular with kids' classes. I have a fellow out in upstate New York, Monty Kennedy. He's doing a lot of kids' classes, and they are just eating this pattern up because it's a fun fly to tie, and it's different. All right. And when you start combing this out, if you miss a loop or two, you'll find them. Trust me, that comb will catch on them, and you'll definitely locate them. Believe it or not, you've probably got about a dozen or so loops, maybe 15, depending on the size fly. And I think this is the last one. All right. So now it really looks like a mess. That's okay, not to worry. Here's our comb. Oh, sorry, I couldn't find the comb. And now this here, what I generally do is I take the comb and I take the fly, lay it on my lap, and work from the tips of the material towards the hook. Okay, but because we're on camera here, I'm not going to put it on my lap. I'm going to put it back in the vise and just kind of come in and work from the tips out. And the kind of comb you want is a fairly close-toothed comb. You don't want a wide one. It's really not going to do you any good. You want to be able to get into the weave and separate all of those fibers. And you can see now it's starting to take some shape. Okay. So just when you're selecting a comb, I mean, just walk into any fly shop and they generally have some type of a materials comb, or in this case, I'm using just a regular men's hair comb, not a big deal. If you have a material comb, that's great too. So now you can see we're starting to get some streamer shape going on here, which is nice. All right. Now the next step is we're going to take our Softex and we're going to actually get some on a bobbin and a bodkin, and you're not going to want it too thick. You're going to want it right in between, not quite jelly, not quite really thin. And you're going to come in right above your tail and just put a bead in here. And work it in a little bit with your fingers. And that's going to stiffen that up just a hair so that it doesn't foul on the hook on you. Okay? Because it is a very thin, supple material and it will foul. That glue is going to help that. We're going to take our scissors now, and here's the trick to this. Obviously, if you come in and cut your hair just like this, it's going to be very straight. So what I generally do is I come in and I'll take my hair and just kind of come in on a slight angle. It's kind of hard to describe on camera, but I would say kind of like this. Get that little bit of an angle going on and get rid of all of those square tips and stray pieces. You can work right on your tail, get a nice taper going on here. Okay. Alright, so we've got a decent little streamer body going on. Now the next step is you can color the fly with magic marker, Pantone, permanent, any type of permanent marker, Sharpie, what have you. And generally, I just take the fly and you can just touch the tips. And it'll take the marker really well. You can do it different colors, put a little red throat on there if you like. I just like a dorsal color. Okay. And you can see we're starting to get some coloration on there nicely. maybe a little bit right on top. Alright. And you can see the Bill's body braid takes the permanent marker well. Now you can get some the holographic adhesive eyes that I was talking about earlier, the new eyes from Hairline. They're a nice little eye. They're a dome shape. A little difficult to get out of the package, but once we get them out, we'll be good to go. There we go. And this is roughly a size 2.5 or 5/32 eye. And it's a good size eye for a size 1 hook and about a 2-inch streamer. It's not too big, not too small. There we go, nicely. Alright. And we put a little bit of Softex right up in the front here where our thread wraps are. Over the eyes. That'll lock the eyes right on there. The Softex does dry clear. The old formula used to dry a little bit cloudy, but about 6 years ago they straightened that out, changed the formula a little bit, and now they dry nice and it dries nice and clear. There you go. And you want a little bit of the thinner stuff. It'll get right into all the fibers and lock everything together. And you're pretty much done. I'd take this right now and go fishing, cast it on the edges of busting schools of albies, around anchovies, silver sides, and any type of small bait fish like that. And that's your loop streamer.